Hello, this is your buddy Brady here. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Mortal Kombat X, and it's got me thinking about NetherRealm's other fighting game, Injustice: Gods Among Us. So this video is basically a wish list of characters I went in, but I think adding more than 30 characters is a bit much, and I don't think they'd be able to do it. So here are some characters I cut. And if you want to know why I would cut these characters, just ask in the comments and I'll tell you. So let's start this thing off with Darkseid. Darkseid was in the mobile version of this game, and he is pretty badass. I mean, he's DC's like main villain. He's got his Omega beams. He's ruthlessly strong, and he's also kind of refined. I like how he puts his hands behind his back while fighting. It's cocky and like awesome. He's pretty much the Shao Kahn of the DC universe. So fused with Shao Kahn to make Dark Kahn. Does anyone remember that? Number 2, I'm thinking Brainiac 5. I should note that these are in no particular order, but in Ares, when you beat Superman as Ares in, I guess, classic mode you would call it, or arcade mode, it says Ares uses Brainiac 5 to Brainiac 5's time manipulation thing to keep the Injustice story going on and on. So he'd be forever like strong or something like that. And when I saw that, I'm like, you know what, Brainiac 5 would make a good character. And like I have this whole idea like that the next game is time based. Like Brainiac 5 comes from the future to warn them, and like then they go to other points in time to fight various characters, like versions of themselves, maybe. Like they fight 1970s Batman, that'd be awesome. Yeah, Emperor Superman, the Injustice version of Superman, that's what I call him. So that's his comeback. But Brainiac 5 has like all the capabilities of the Legion of Superheroes. He's probably the coolest member. He's I would imagine him a very smart fighter. Like he'd use bombs and gizmos and gadgets, and maybe his ultimate like trait thing is he like becomes a stronger Brainiac. Also, giving Brainiac 5 a Brainiac costume would be pretty sweet. Number 3 is Black Canary. Black Canary in the second volume of the Injustice comics is just badass. She's the main hero of that year, and she almost won. I'm not going to spoil anything, but she almost won. Superman hadn't cheated. But, yeah, I imagine she'd rely more on her melee abilities more than her, like, actual powers. But I think her power, like, would be her trait. Like, might be, like, a meter burn. Like, it would make one of her screeches even more powerful. Next up is the fan favorite, Red Hood. Now, you might notice when I showed you the cut characters picture, there's not as much villains. That's because I don't think that they should have had the same number of heroes as if villains. Because, like, then you get Killer Frost, and let's be honest, who wanted Killer Frost? But beside that, Jason Todd, I don't know where I would put him if he would be on the villain part or the hero part. You'll see later I put him on the hero part. That's because I have like 10 villains, so it's a third of the roster. But Jason Todd is very interesting. I could see why people voted for him. I voted for Zatanna, and I'm glad she got in. But I could see him in between Batman and the Joker. I could actually see his trait being like using a motorcycle, and plus it being nice having a Robin since I cut one of them, technically two. Next up is Booster Gold. So you know how I was saying like it's time based, like what I imagine like the next story would be like time based. Booster Gold is where that also comes in, like since he's also a time traveler and hilarious time traveler. I could see him like firing lasers. I would actually want in Mortal Kombat X before they fight, like they like talk to each other. That's where Booster Gold would excel. And I imagine his fighting being like lasers and mostly. Also using Skeets would be his like trait. Skeets would also always be by his side, and I would pray that Billy West would voice him. Next up is Supergirl. So Supergirl's going to be popular again, like real soon. even if that show is bad, the upcoming Supergirl show, people are still going to watch it, and she's going to be popular again. With her powers, you can make her different than Superman. I mean, Black Adam and Shazam are different enough, and so was Nightwing and Batman, but that one's not fair. I could totally see Supergirl being in this game, giving some more love to the Superman family. Plus, Brainiac 5's also there, so that causes some stuff to happen. Next up is Vixen. Like Supergirl, I haven't watched the show yet, but even if the Vixen show isn't that good, like, she's going to be popular again. And I thank goodness, because Vixen Return of the Lion is a great book, and go check that out. But Vixen's powers are based on the Red, and that's like Animal Man and Swamp Thing. And I picked her over them because, like, her powers seem limitless, almost. Like, she could do basically anything an animal could. So, super strong, fly, a lot of things that animals can do. A lot of possibilities with her. Next up, we have Jonah Hex. So, yeah, time thing. Jonah Hex is also a time traveler. I could see his trait being using those 80s punk weapons he used when he goes to the future. But Jonah Hex in the All-Star Westerns New 52 is so badass. It's insane. Jonah Hex, I could see... You know what? Jonah Hex is basically Aaron Black. Aaron Black from Mortal Kombat is Jonah Hex. That's it. Next up is Star Sapphire. So you might notice I took Sinestro off, and yeah, I think there should be another Green Lantern villain, and I wouldn't mind if Sinestro came back, honestly. I also wouldn't mind Atrocitus, or I wouldn't mind Saint Walker, or Lar Flez, or what's their name, Indigo Prime. Any other, like, Lantern, like, I'd be down for. But I chose Star Sapphire because I think she's more interesting. With the Star Sapphire, like, they can do, like, other Lantern stuff, like, they also have, like, a parasite sort of thing. It's weird. I don't know how to quite explain it, but I always like Star Sapphire as a villain than the other ones, because she has a personal connection with Hal Jordan. Also, you could give her a fatality. I think that's her name. Skin. Next up, we have the rebirth of Cool, Milestone's champion, Static. Gotta beat superhero. That should be like a Clash quote. Gotta beat superhero, and Static's like, I've heard it. But holy crap, what can you say about Static? He's the coolest, like, the coolest superheroes ever. And then he was also in the Injustice mobile game, but I didn't like how he was always floating. Like, he had, like, his sewer grid sort of thing. But he was always doing that. I could see that being a trait, and, like, him becoming faster and, like, dealing more damage, like using the sewer grid or something. But I don't know. Also, give him a coat. That costume's fine as long as he has, like, a coat over it. Also, give some Dakota for some love. Next up is Gorilla Grodd. I was kind of upset that Flash didn't get any villains in the last game. I mean, you could count Killer Frost, but I don't. And, you know, most Flash villains I'll accept as another character in the game. Captain Cool, good example, so is Captain Boomerang. But I think Gorilla Grodd would be better because he's, like, smart and strong, like Darkseid. And, like, he can use his telepathic powers as, like, a trait. He's a gorilla, so he could fight. Also, he's a speciesist. And that would make some interesting clashes. Next up is Cheetah. I'll be honest, I didn't like Ares. Besides Killer Frost, Ares was probably, like, my least favorite character in that game. So I'm thinking we need another Wonder Woman villain, and in my mind, I'd pick Gigantica, but that wouldn't work. So I'm picking Cheetah, because Cersei's is unknown, and so are the rest of these characters. And Cheetah's just the most well-known, and I could see her being pretty cool. I could see her trait becoming faster. Somehow her claws beat magic, so like a lot of these characters I put under magic, so she could hold her own honest. And lastly is Black Manta. Black Manta, I said these were in no particular order, but Black Manta would be number one for me. Because Black Manta is, New 52 Black Manta specifically, is so cool. Like, the first volume of Aquaman, like, it was alright, everyone was praising it, I'm like, it's okay. The next one, where it features Black Manta, is so cool. Black Manta is human, and he cannot be stopped by any of these metahumans chasing him down. He's got his eye lasers, he's a trained assassin as well as Deathstroke. I could see so many possibilities with him. And I could see his trait being like a hook shot or something like that. But he's also like really psychopathically, but not in like a ha-ha way like Harley Quinn or Joker. I think it'd be really cool to see him in Justice. So those are my thoughts on these characters. Also, these are some skins I'd like to see. Down in the comments, why don't you tell me some characters you'd like to see in Injustice? I'd be happy to look at them and tell you what I think. This is your buddy Brady, and I'm out.